I said, either I'm dreaming, or I done lost my mind, or this brother done lost his mind. And I held it on Joseph. I said, Joseph is putting him up to saying this, because this cannot be coming from Chicago. I called Brother Malcolm. And as I told you, I couldn't speak to him, because I'd have get put out the mosque for the 90 days that he was out. And I said, if they will talk about killing Malcolm, they'll kill me. Because the only man I know, and I apologize to any of y'all who are ministers or anything like that, as far as I'm concerned, there was nobody in the Nation of Islam second to Malcolm except me, as far as believing in Mr. Muhammad's teaching. Okay? So I called him, and his wife answered the phone. And I just said, tell my big brother be very careful. Exact words I used. She said, careful of what? I said, just please give him my message. Tell him what I said, be very careful. All right. Now this thing escalates. Now other brothers start talking about killing him. I called again. I said, tell my brother, be very, very, very careful. And the third or fourth time I called, because I was getting concerned. And what really got me is the secretary, John Ali, came to New York. I'm still in the mosque now, I want you to know. He came and he said, yeah, got the microphone, and he said, the apostle getting letters from the East Coast threatening his life. Well, the first thing I said, ain't no such thing as a letter from the East Coast. If a letter comes, it got to have a point of origin stamp on it. So I said, now I got scared. I'm going to be frank with you. I got concerned. Because I said, then all of this is not coming from Joseph to find out which way I'll go. This is coming from Chicago. I called him and I spoke to him. I said, brother. He said, what? If you got something to say, spit it out. Exact words. I said, brother, they talking about killing me. He laughed. He said, kill me. He said, brother, I wasn't no Sunday Muslim. He said, I put 12 years into that organization. I said, I know that, brother. But I also know that they're talking about killing you. He said, are you serious? I said, I'm serious as cancer. I wouldn't call you up with some flim-flam, you know. So he asked me would I meet him. And I said, yes. And I met him. I met him over on East 116th Street near the Triborough Bridge. And he drove west to Morningside Park. And we sat down and we talked. That's how I got involved with Malcolm. But I did not leave the nation. When he left, I left because they started talking about killing him. And I figured I'd be next. So, Brother Malcolm went to see Minister Wallace. Then when Brother Malcolm was out of the country, Minister Wallace had a meeting in Philadelphia. I didn't go there, but Minister Benjamin went and Betty Shabazz, Malcolm's wife, went. When I went to Guyana on July, this is crazy, but you have to understand this. I felt that if I was in the United States of America on July the 4th, 1976, my life was not be worth a plug nickel. So I left July the 3rd. I left a family, 5 children and a wife. And I went to Guyana and stayed in the bush for 12 years. While I was in Guyana, Minister Wallace came there with the brother who I know is Larry Forex, who is now Abdur. And he'll tell you. I met him in Georgetown. I had a picture taken with Minister Wallace, which I still have. I looked like an orangutan because I hadn't had a haircut in about 4 years, and it turned red from being out in the sun. So the important thing that I want to say to you about the history is everybody, particularly the so-called Negro intellectuals, are always talking like Mr. Muhammad had Brother Malcolm killed. That may be. I cannot say he didn't, but I don't believe it. But I had such faith in Mr. Muhammad's program, I could be biased, right? Those are the facts of life. I cannot understand a pair. Most of you are too young but the baseball fans will remember the double play combination, take us to Everest chance. Right? And then in the football lore, there was an Army football team, and they had two guys, Doc Blanchard, Felix Blanchard, and I think Glenn Davis and Blanchard. One was a fullback and one was a halfback. Those are old T formation designations. And those two, if those two was on playing the same day, whoever they was playing against had a rough time. They just worked. Well, that's how Mr. Muhammad and Malcolm worked. Mr. Muhammad, at the time that Malcolm got out of prison, had 40, 50 people in the mosque. Malcolm came in and he said, what's going on here? Why ain't there more people here? This place should be full. And Malcolm X himself went out and in that year fished up 200 members to the mosque. And Mr. Muhammad gave him a sail pin. If you watch him look and see his tie, well, you see a great big sailfish tie pin that Mr. Muhammad, he always wore. The next year, he got 400 people. A minister, Lemuel Hassan, was teaching in Detroit. Wilford wasn't even a minister. Malcolm got him made minister, and that caused this. I'm repeating rumors. Say that that's the reason that Minister James Shabazz in Newark never liked Malcolm, because Lemuel Hassan was his brother. I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago. Is that true? I don't. Well, I heard that, but I can't corroborate. But I know in all the time I was in Mosque number 7, Minister James from Newark came to number 7 quite a bit. But I only found out one time in the literature that Malcolm went to Newark. So I think I've said enough. So thank you for no, don't want no applause, thank you. It's just something that may be of some value to you and may clarify some things. I'm constantly hearing things that clarify things to me that I wasn't aware of, like the old heads. There's a brother named Ajib Bilal who was over Progressive Land Management. I talked to him on the phone so much because I learned so much about the nation that I did not know anything about, because I wasn't there in the, in the olden time. So I hope I clarified. Pleasure's mine. You know, Sister Ori. That was my wife. We started going to school, out to reading school.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Caesar's father. Caesar.
I just left with you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it very much. We got to stay in touch here.
Yes, yes. I always have cards with me, except when I meet somebody.
Well, I'll give you mine, and then we can exchange numbers, and
That's good.
we can stay in touch. Let me take you
That's
on
a
the
short
shot.
walk from here.
You want? You live around in the area?
Yeah, I live on James.
You got history right in the neighborhood here. Wow.
Yeah. You know, I came here.
We have the Caesar too.